what would absolutely ruin WWE Crown Jewel in Perth this weekend? Apparently a handful of things. We are here to get into it in today's video. My name is John. Folks, I asked you for your worst case scenarios for Crown Jewel. You delivered. We're going to talk about them, go over them, and that's it. And that's the video. Then we're all going to go on about our day. Before we get started though, please subscribe, leave likes, leave your comments. We're creeping up on 10K. Check out my Patreon for 3 to 5 match watch longs a week. We're having a good time over there. And check out my music, Raspy Taylor, on all platforms. With that said, let's get to the first one. All right, what would ruin Crown Jewel? Io turning on Rhea. Honestly, yeah, I see it. Rhea at this point is like the last friend, the last hand outreaching to help Io. And I don't think that's the story right now, is Rhea turning on Io and like, I don't know what, joining Asuka and Kairi. I don't see that happening. So if that were to happen, I do think I would leave their match surrounding the whole story / Crown Jewel pretty sad. But could you see the other way? Could you see Io turning on Rhea? Would that ruin Crown Jewel? I don't know. It'd be a swerve in the story that I wouldn't expect, of like Io just going like, you know what? Because she's kind of been on the fence this whole time about, oh, they're my family and I do love them. And now she is kind of like, not fully, but like 80-90% broken away from at least like Asuka, and she still feels like sympathetic towards Kairi. But it would be a little bit of a swerve if she just like turns on Rhea, says, no, this is my actual family, we're reforming Damage Control, screw you Rhea, and that maybe turns into a heel Io. I guess the point of this is like, we haven't seen heel Rhea in a long time, we haven't seen heel Io since, I don't know, forever. But win or lose, I would rather see Io and Rhea still friends, or at least like still friends, but like Io's or someone's a little rocky with each other, fine. But yeah, I'd be kind of like, what? What's going on? What's going on here? I don't know, but good one. Next one. Brock Lesnar attacking both John Cena and AJ Styles would make me angry. I want Cena to get his 100th pay-per-view win. Oh, I didn't know he was going for that. This would be his 100th pay-per-view win? Wow. What do I think? I guess that's accurate. In my head, it should be more, but like 100's a lot, dude. Considering there's only like, at least back in the day, there was only 12, let's say on average of 12 pay-per-view PLEs a year. Wow, 100 is actually crazy. But yeah, there were a couple of takes in here about, you know, Brock Lesnar showing up, whether it's after the match or interrupting the match and beating down John Cena and AJ Styles or whatever. There's a couple of those takes in here, and yeah, I don't know what we're doing with Brock Lesnar. I don't know if we need to be doing anything with Brock Lesnar. I know like the last little instance we had was, you know, him and Paul, they kind of had this little like, ooh, wink, wink, and ooh, I'm still a Paul Heyman guy, and then Paul Heyman like announced him to the ring, so we still had that. Some people are speculating that Brock might join the Vision. I don't really see that. I don't see Brock joining and being a lackey or taking over a faction at this stage in his career at his big age. But yeah, imagine, I mean, SummerSlam, a lot of people, including me, left pretty deflated of like Brock just beating down a John Cena. And I don't know which match is main eventing. I don't know if that information is out. Well, I'd imagine probably Cody Seth, right? Still, though, if we end this Cena-AJ match, a match that people have been looking forward to for so long, and whether you believe, like, the story or not that WWE is feeding us, where, like, we listen to the fans and we weren't going to do it, whatever. I don't know how much of that I believe, but regardless, people have been still wanting it. And if this, like, final dream retirement match ends with, like I said, either a Brock Lesnar interruption, or even if we get a clean win and then a Brock Lesnar interruption afterward, it's kind of be like, all right, like, what are we doing Brock AJ? Are we running back Brock Cena again just so Cena can get his ass kicked? I don't know. It would be pretty just like, wow, we are out of ideas, huh? All right, what else ruined Crown Jewel? This says Triple H appearing at all. He acts like he's Steve Austin or something when really he was always most people's least favorite of the big WWE stars anyway. Oh, okay. This wouldn't ruin the show for me. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. He's gonna show up. Yeah, he's gonna appear. He's gonna appear at the top of the show, maybe the middle of the show, do his classic like, are you ready? And we have this many people in attendance. And what up, Australia? I love kangaroos. Shout out crocodiles. Saying, or nor. What if Triple H comes out and he goes like, or nor you... That's bad. But sure, I mean, Triple H was never maybe anyone's favorite during like the Stone Cold and The Rock era. But like, it's hard to deny, whether you disagree or agree with, Triple H business moves or booking or whatever. When that music hits and Triple H comes out, he still gets cheers, and I think he is for sure. Like I said, regardless of what you think of him, he is a beloved person / character in the WWE, in the wrestling world. No, was he ever like the greatest, top 3 technical in-ring performers of all time? No, but like we can't really rewrite history here and say that like Triple H, the character Triple H, the game, King of Kings, isn't and wasn't a staple in wrestling and wrestling history, and that people don't like love and have an admiration or appreciation for him. Especially you look at like his DX time, and sure, you can argue like he was carried by the gimmick and Shawn Michaels and like sure, but like now can I agree that maybe he loves himself some Triple H and he loves himself some Pop? Sure, I think a lot of these, it's why you see all these old timers still kind of coming out wherever that Pop and that admiration and love from the crowd. I'd imagine it's pretty addicting and it's fueling, and I can't imagine a lot of people want to give that up. The Wrestler, Mickey Rourke, great movie, go check that out. But yeah, him coming out to do his little shtick, sure, it might be annoying. Am I necessarily a fan of like the gloating about like ticket sales in this current state? Well, 1, economy, and 2, how WWE is just outwardly pushing away family price tickets. Like, no, I'm not saying that Triple H is going to come out and I'm going to be all like excited and like, yes, like let's talk about TKO and numbers and I hope he announces how many advertisements we have on the ring today. But him coming out to just do his classic thing isn't going to ruin it for me. And I don't know. You're allowed to dislike him, but like, let's not go crazy and be like, if he was nobody's favorite and he had no fans and he's never been this, that, and the other. Like, you know what I mean? All right, ruining Crown Jewel would be, honestly, Stratton winning would irritate me. I think it's time for her to lose because it feels like it's been a while since she has lost and her title reign has been very lackluster IMO. She cannot beat Stephanie Vaquer. Yeah, I think I would definitely leave with a sour taste in my mouth from this match if Tiffany Stratton wins. It wouldn't ruin the night for me, but I'd be a little bit confused on just like how on purpose stop and go they would be with Stephanie. Like at this point, give Stephanie the win. The Crown Jewel Championship means nothing. It's not really about that. They're gonna say it is and how important it is. But Stephanie Vaquer is on a Stephanie Vaquer. Boom. Sorry. She's the fastest rising star of recent memory. She's killing it. She's so over. Newly won world title. And you're right. I agree with you. Tiffany Stratton's title reign hasn't been great. We just keep getting circling back to the Nia Jax vortex. And I do like Tiffany Stratton as a performer. I think she's a great wrestler. I think she's great on the mic. She's overall great and deserves to be a world champion. The booking and whatnot around her title reign needs to be better. I don't think a lot of it is her fault. But if on the other side of that ring, you have the new champion, the new prospect, like, whatever. Granted, not to say, Tiffany Stratton is still like super young. Both these women are super young and the future of the company, but you need to capitalize on Stephanie Vaquer here. And like for a while, she was like off TV. Don't know what that was about. And I feel like she wasn't cooled off, but it was kind of like, hey, where's Stephanie Vaquer? A win here is needed for Stephanie Vaquer to cement her place as a world champion and as a credible threat, and that she can beat other world champions. I think it's really, really important for Stephanie Vaquer to get the win here. Tiffany Stratton winning here would admittedly just feel kind of like, lazy and boring. Stephanie would benefit a lot more from winning than Tiffany Stratton would. And I do think Tiffany Stratton's time is coming with this belt. I think they need to just figure out who's going to take it off her. I think it's going to be a Jade. Maybe more likely is a returning Bianca, But yeah, all right, next one. All right, what would ruin Crown Jewel? Nothing major happening to fuel the next storylines. Mainly Randy not turning heel. I feel like the champ versus champ match is perfect to have Cody lose due to Orton costing him. Doesn't lose the title, sets up the feud. Maybe I'm just manifesting since I'll be in attendance. Oh, hell yeah, shout out you, that's fun. But I agree. In the general scope of things, this champion versus champion thing for the Crown Jewel title, like, they're nothing stipulations, but there is so much. I think I talked about this in a recent Yays and Boos, maybe in the podcast. There's so much with Cody and Seth specifically with their own storyline together and own storylines apart, right? Now, their storyline together that might get, I don't know about wrapped up, but, told further in this match is, we were friends, now we're not friends. I thought we were friends. I was your shield. I gave you the watch. Like, I love you, and no, like, I don't love you, and da-da-da. Also, who's truly the best? Who's the leader? But then which this kind of bleeds into Seth's own story about the Vision and Paul Heyman being backstage being like, look, like, this win is everything to you. If you lose this, you lose your credibility. You're a second-rate champion, what you're scared of the most, and honestly, you might might lose me because I'm going to be skeptical on why I chose you if you can't beat Cody and you're losing. You're 0-4, now 0-5 against him. So Seth has everything to lose here. Over on the Cody side, less to do with a win or loss here, but more so what we've seen in the following weeks or the previous weeks from SmackDown is Randy Orton looking at that title and wanting to get closer to Cody and potentially turning and eyeing him, and Cody being a little bit suspicious of Randy too. So we all know, and Cody especially knows who Randy is. Legend killer, greatest heel in the world, shades of bald Orton 09. So like if this is the main event and we end with a Randy Orton heel turn, like I'll like it for the story progression, but it will be a little bit of an eye roll for me of like, oh great, like another, it will be a little earned, but it will be like, oh, another like main event, like title match, you know, interrupted or distraction or DQ, whatever. But I'm debating on what would I rather have, a clean win or Randy Orton turning heel in 2025. I don't know, to be honest, because this would lead to Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes legacy story, student teacher, mentor mentee. It's what we've been wanting for ever. And with all that, whether it's Randy stuff or it's Seth and Paul stuff, like something needs to happen here to progress. I mean, this is, you could also have the Vision run in. Braun Breaker is not booked on the show, so he's going to run in somewhere, probably during the Roman Bronson Reed match. But yeah, something's going to happen. And then even you look at the other matches, right? Speaking of Roman and Bronson Reed, hopefully that progresses something with like a Braun Breaker, right? Braun Breaker comes in, we can finally start building seeds to Roman Reigns, Braun Breaker. Rhea, Io, and the Kabuki Warriors, there's a lot of story to tell in that match on who trusts who and who's trying to, persuade who, especially Kyrie, who's now taken front stage and center of this story, which I absolutely love. Like, there's going to be a lot of in-ring storytelling with Kyrie. So yeah, if they just play it real safe and just like, we're just going to have like these obvious people win, these lazy picks, like we're going to walk away from the show being like, especially me a little bit being like, oh geez, I don't know if that was worth, waking up so early and getting on stream for, So speaking of some other stuff we were mentioning, what would ruin Crown Jewel would be Cody winning. Now, I was kind of went long-winded about like Seth and Cody's feud already, so I won't spend too much time on this, but I do agree. Seth needs this win. Cody winning is exactly what I was just saying. It's lazy. It's obvious. He won last year. It's just kind of like, okay, we get it. Like, Cody's the guy, and there is potential. I think Jimmy might have mentioned this on the podcast. There might be potential for the crowd maybe getting a little sick of Cody winning and the obvious like Cody wins LOL booking. And I think that might even hurt Cody. But the obvious answer and the obvious right and more compelling answer is a Seth wins. Like Cody winning, and especially Cody winning without any sort of like Randy stuff. Maybe if Cody wins and then there's a Randy heel turn, like at least there's something, but Cody winning without anything else happening in terms of like Seth, the Vision, and or Randy, it's just kind of like, okay, like what? Great. He's the second-time Crown Jewel champion that we're all going to forget about in a week or two. Awesome. Cool. All right, last one of the day. What would ruin Crown Jewel would be WWE swerving us and having Jay stay face despite the teases. They've done it enough with the Judgment Day breaking up teases and that not happening, the Theory turning face teases and him disappearing, and now with the Street Profits tease that probably will lead to nothing. Interesting. Okay, I mean, I think you might end up being disappointed. I mean, the only place, maybe this is what you're talking about, but the only place for Jay and or a Jimmy to get involved, I see, is the Rowan versus Bronson Reed match. And like, I guess I see that happening. Braun Breaker can come in and the Usos can come in and do their sort of like shtick. This could either be a very straight up Roman Reigns win, regardless of Braun Breaker interference, or this could be just the most overbooked match of the night with Braun Breaker, Paul Heyman, and the Usos battling the Vision, and then Roman Reigns being like, ooh, hey, Jimmy, I heard you talking crap, and Jay being more Tribal Chief stuff. So, like, you don't really think of it, to be honest with you, at first. I didn't really, see, like, too much stuff happening in this match. Kind of seemed to me just like a mid-card match to get Bronson Reed on the card in Australia, and Roman Reigns to get, like, a returning for the 6th time in this year win, blah, blah. But I don't know. This wouldn't ruin a full Jey Uso heel turn right at Crown Jewel. Would not ruin Crown Jewel for me. I'm not expecting it. I'm not anticipating it. I don't even know if we're getting a Jey Uso full heel turn. I think we will, with him eventually becoming the Tribal Chief and the way Jimmy's acting, and like Roman is kind of it back in his like gaslighting, manipulative bag. Words. We're saying words and phrases that have never been uttered before. It is an Australian street fight. Excuse me. I forgot about that. So there is going to be shenanigans. I'm kind of just talking all this out loud and, seeing, no pun intended, the Vision as we're talking about it. Wow, that's a good one. But in the general sense, though, like I would like a full Jey heel turn and then into the madness of the Tribal Chief. It's not going to happen at Crown Jewel. I do think we're gonna get more teases of it. And like the Judgment Day stuff, I do agree. Not just to go to the rest of your comment and we'll wrap up here. Judgment Day teases, yeah, I mean, they've been teasing the Dom Finn stuff forever. Austin Theory face turn was like, yeah, they should have pulled the trigger. They didn't. Street Profits, though, I do disagree. Because I think they're like, shaky turn on each other, heel turn sort of stuff. Oh, no, you're talking about when they were both heels. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the breakup. No, okay, I agree with you, because they kind of half-assed that heel turn. Okay, God, this comment has really just got me thinking and turn these old gears up here, huh? But yeah, I think we'll get pretty close to really just narrow, just to take the wheel and steer this one back. Jey Uso turning heel. Don't know what's going to fully happen at Crown Jewel. Is he going to super kick Jimmy? That leads to Jimmy versus Jey super kick super kick match at Survivor Series. Don't know. But in general sense, I agree with you. I don't know if I see it. I'm talking in circles now. Don't know if I see it Crown Jewel. Anyway, folks, that's the show. Thank you for being here. Thank you for submitting your worst case scenarios. Please, there's some other worst case scenarios you think of. Let me know in the comments. Leave your likes, subscribe, check out my Patreon, all that stuff. I really appreciate the support. I'll see you next time. Peace.